Today, I'm answering the number one question I get asked on Instagram. How do I get good photos at Disney while still staying present with my family and not feel like I have to have my camera in my hand all day long? Welcome back to Photograph the Magic. I'm Carrie. I'm a photographer, I'm a mom, and I'm a huge Disney Parks fan. I travel to Walt Disney World multiple times a year. I take lots of photos every time I go to Disney and still squeeze out every little bit of Disney magic I can get. I've learned a lot over the years about balancing photography and staying in the moment with my family on my Disney vacations, and today I'm here to help you do just that. If you're feeling torn about how to live in the moment and enjoy your Disney vacation and still wanting to get tons of magical photos, this video is for you. Here are some practical tips to help you feel like you can still enjoy your vacation, be present in the moment, and not feel like you have to have a camera in your hand the entire time while still taking tons of beautiful, wonderful Disney photos. The first thing to do is to think about your photo intentions for this trip. Do you have specific photography goals or certain things you want to take photos of on your vacation? If you're watching this video, my guess is you want to photograph a lot of moments on your vacation. That's how I went into my first Disney vacation. I wanted to photograph everything. I brought every single camera accessory. I brought my DSLR, my GoPro, my phone, everything. And I did get a lot of good photos, but I also learned a lot while I was doing it. Thinking about your photo intentions can really help you prepare for when to take your camera out and when to leave it in your bag. Are you hoping to come home with more video or more photos? Do you want to have a photo album to share and to look at when you come home? Or do you want a bunch of videos that you can string together and make one long, awesome video for you and your family to watch? Just thinking about your photo intentions before you leave for your trip can help you really decide when to pull your camera out and when to stay in the moment. My second tip is kind of controversial. People either love this tip or they hate it. So I'm curious to see what your thoughts are. Feel free to comment below and let me know if you agree with this tip or not. So, my recommendation is to not record everything. When you are on attractions or watching fireworks or parades, I recommend that you put your camera away completely if your intention is to just video record or videotape the parade or the ride or the fireworks so that you and your family can watch it later. The reason I say this is because there are tons of YouTube videos that are already recorded in super high quality that are already posted for you and your family to enjoy anytime. You can pull it up right on TV and watch the entire Happily Ever Afterwards fireworks show right now if you want to, but maybe after you finish this video. So if you are going on a ride or you're watching the parade and you want to record every second of the parade so you can watch it later, it is so much nicer to just put your phone away or your camera away and remember that you can watch those shows and everything on YouTube later when you come home. But if you are wanting to record your child's reaction to a parade or get a quick photo of them while the fireworks are going, those can be really spectacular photos. So I'm only saying not to record if your only intention is to record what you're seeing so that you can just rewatch it later, because every single attraction, everything has already been filmed in super high quality on YouTube for you to enjoy anytime. Another time to put your phone or your camera away is when you're riding some of those dark rides like Peter Pan or Little Mermaid. If you're thinking you want to get some reaction photos of your kids and just see what they're doing during the ride, those dark rides are very, very hard to get good photos on. And if you have your camera set to automate the flash, it's going to flash and be so bright for everybody. So I always keep my flash off, especially on my phone, because I don't want that happening during a ride. And just remember that those kind of photos are very hard to get, especially if you're using a cell phone. So wait to get your kids' reaction videos or photos on rides that are outside, like Seven Dwarfs Mine Train or the People Mover or rides like that, because the dark ride photos just don't really turn out well anyways. Okay, another thing to consider is to schedule photo time into your day. I just finished recording a whole other video all about planning your Disney vacation photos, and I go into great detail why scheduling your photos is really, really helpful. So please feel free to check that video out as well for some really helpful tips. But when you are thinking about scheduling photos into your day, another thing you can consider is scheduling pockets of time to take photos. So if you know that you're torn between mom duties and still wanting to take photos, even if you schedule in 10 minutes in the morning, 10 minutes in the afternoon, and maybe 10 minutes in the evening to take photos or to pull your camera out, it's small amounts of time in the moment, but that adds up to 30 minutes of photo time a day. So if you're feeling stressed about just not knowing when to have your camera out or when to put it away, having little pockets of time scheduled can really help take the stress off. Then in the morning, if you take your quick 10 minutes of photos, you can get tons of photos in 10 minutes. And then you can put your camera away for hours and just live in the moment with your family, be on mom duty, be on lightning lane duty on your phone, whatever it is you want to do when you're not photographing your family or the attractions, then it's really nice to not have to be on your camera or your phone during those other moments as well. And just know that you have different pockets of time scheduled through the day. Another way to be sure that you're not stuck to your camera your entire vacation is to consider Memory Maker. I have lots of videos about Memory Maker as well, but what I was specifically thinking about for this, there is a special individual Memory Maker photo shoot that people can purchase and have. It is 20 minutes and you get a PhotoPass photographer all to yourself in any of the parks. But having your own personal photographer for 20 minutes of photos in some of the most iconic photo locations in the world is pretty awesome. So, if having posed photos with you in them is something that is a high priority to you, and you're just not really sure how to get those photos, you don't want to stress about maybe bringing a tripod or trying to figure out how to do that, either purchasing Memory Maker and making use of the PhotoPass photographers who are already in the parks, or to really save yourself a lot of time, you could book that personal PhotoPass session and have 20 minutes of photos in the park with a PhotoPass photographer that will spend that one-on-one time with you and your family. That way, it really takes the stress off of you having to figure out how to get in the photos and have really beautiful posed photos when they can just do it for you. Now, I have been on many trips where I have not purchased Memory Maker and I have still come home with awesome photos of my family and myself because I bring a little tripod, I have my photo plan, I know exactly what kind of photos and where I want to take them. So it's definitely not a necessity, but it's definitely one of those nice to have things that can help take the stress off of you if you're the family photographer, but you're also like, I want to be in the pictures. It can be something really awesome to consider. Moving on. I saw this comment posted somewhere once, and it has always lived kind of in the back of my head since I saw it. I am very bad at it, which is probably why I think about this all the time. But the comment said, do not pull your phone out or your camera out unless you're thinking, oh, I could totally frame this photo. And I really think about that a lot when I pull my phone or my camera out because I take so many pictures that I would never frame in a million years. But there might be different reasons that I'm taking that photo. Like maybe I want a photo for social media or just because it's like a funny thing that's happening. But that comment about only take pictures you're going to frame really stuck with me. I have been bringing disposable cameras on a lot of my Disney trips recently, and I honestly think having these cameras has seriously improved my photography so much. On the disposable cameras, you only have 28 frames of film or photos. And so for every single picture I pull out the disposable, I have to ask myself, like, what is the point of this photo? What do I want to photograph? What do I want to say with this photograph? And do I really want to waste like a picture on whatever this is in front of me? And so it's really helped me slow down and frame my photo really well because I want to get really good photos with, the 28 that I have. And so I think just kind of going back to that mindset can help us as photographers to really slow down and think about what we're photographing and also just asking ourselves like what is the point of this photo. So like I said, maybe it's not a photo that you're going to frame, but maybe it's a really funny moment happening or something really special happening. Instead of just having our cameras out all day just in case something happens and taking photos of all the different things, having a true intention behind every photo can really help us all come home, because I could do this a lot better too. It could help us all come home with really strong, beautiful photos from our vacation. All right, so as you have an idea of what photos you want to come home with and what photos you want to take on your Disney vacation, I think it is super important to think about our Disney photography just like we think about experiences at Walt Disney World as a whole. When you take a vacation to Disney World, it is impossible to experience everything. There's just no way during a regular, 4 night, 7 night vacation to meet every single character and do every attraction and eat every single meal at Disney World. There's just not enough time to experience everything Walt Disney World has to offer in one vacation. So, approaching your photography at Disney in the same way can be kind of a good mindset shift that it's just impossible to photograph everything at Disney World. It might be really challenging to get a bunch of posed photos during the day and take photos of all the Disney details you want to take, and photos of the Festival of Fantasy Parade, and photos of the fireworks. It's just a lot. It's a lot of logistics, it's a lot to think about. So, one thing that I do when I go on my vacations with my family is we pick a top three every day. And in each park, we'll say at Animal Kingdom, we each have three things that are our must do's for that park. So, Flight of Passage and Everest and meeting Mickey and Minnie might be it. Each of us make a list of our top three things, and then that way, anything extra we get to do is like really extra and special. But we know that we can for sure accomplish those top three things. So, when you're thinking about which photos you want to have, maybe consider listing out your top 3 to 5 photos or photo moments that you want to get in each park. That way, instead of having a list of like 20 to 40 photos that you want to get, you can really bring that list down and shorter, make it, 3 to 5 photos you want to get at each park so that you can actually realistically have the time to get those photos and experience everything else you want to experience at Disney World. That way, by prioritizing which photos are the most important for you each day, you don't have to feel torn about not pulling your camera out for every single photo moment. You can put your camera away for a little bit after you've gotten a few of those top priority photos, enjoy most of the day, and then if another photo opportunity comes up that is high on your list, grab your camera again and take pictures of that. But by minimizing the list of must have photos, you will easily be able to accomplish that and come home with those photos that you love so much. All right, and here's my last tip to stay present while also taking awesome photos. I know for myself that I end up pulling my camera out and taking lots of photos when I am feeling like I want to remember this forever and I don't know what I want to remember. It's always on the last day of my vacation, too. One thing that I like to do or remind myself is to just like take a moment and take a deep breath and just feel all the gratitude and all the joy for being at Walt Disney World. I did this on my vacation with my daughter in January, and we were watching the Festival of Fantasy Parade. I had gone between recording her and recording the parade. I put my phone down for a second and just looked at her and just enjoyed watching her watch the parade. And I just have such a vivid memory of that because I just let myself soak up everything I could notice in that moment. Like watching her smile and seeing her there. It was really cold when we went, so she was just snuggled up in a blanket in the stroller, and I vividly remember that moment now because I just put my camera away and I just let myself enjoy the moment and just feel so grateful for being at Walt Disney World, my favorite place with my daughter. It was so special. And I don't think I will ever forget that moment of watching her reaction while she was watching the parade. It was super special. And that might sound really cheesy or really goofy, but it is a way that I have found just to help myself balance everything because I want to not only remember my vacations through my photos and my videos, but I want to like really remember them as well. And so by like truly being intentional and just taking a few minutes and looking around and being super grateful for being there really helps me do that. Well, I hope you found these tips helpful. These are just some of the things that help me stay balanced on my Disney vacations between pulling out my camera and staying present with the people I'm vacationing with. If you have any other tips or things that have worked for you, please leave them in the comments below because I love learning from other Disney photographers like you. If this video helped, I would love if you would subscribe, ring the bell, or even share this video if you know someone who's traveling to Disney World soon. If you are heading to Walt Disney World soon, I wish you a very magical vacation filled with lots of time being present with your family and amazing photos. Thanks for being here. See you next time. Bye, friends.